welcome to this week's video all about praying mantises. This video is about praying mantises. Praying mantises are a type of insect and they're quite big, and they can be found in almost every continent and country apart from this country where I live for some reason, and I think they're super cool, but we don't have them here, which is unfortunate. And I also think with their funny triangular heads that they look like aliens from Mars or something. But the real aliens are tardigrades. They're a type of animal that can live in space and they're crazy. So this video is about the praying mantis, and there is lots of species of mantises, and later in the video I'm going to tell you some of the species because it would take way too long to tell you all of the different species of mantis. So the praying mantis is related to termites and cockroaches. So cockroaches are kind of gross and termites are kind of like ants with really big orange heads and big mandibles, like pinchers on their face. And they live in rainforests, deserts, forests, grasslands, meadows, and meadowlands. Why mayo? I'm not even thinking about mayo. So they eat crickets, grasshoppers, beetles, and caterpillars and flies and moths and anything big enough or smaller than them, but actually they can eat things much bigger than them. Like there was mantises that ate hummingbirds. They hang on to those little hummingbird feeders that people have where there's hummingbirds in their country, where there's no hummingbirds here. And the mantis hangs onto the little hummingbird feeder, and when a hummingbird comes, the poor hummingbird becomes this massive termite cockroach thing's lunch. And lots of people like hummingbirds, and I'm not going to show you a picture of mantis eating a hummingbird because that's kind of just a little bit gross in a teensy tiny way. And they are 2 inches in length, and something for 2 inches that can eat a hummingbird. Now I know hummingbirds are small birds, but they're bigger than 2 inches, and these guys are 2 inches about. There's very big species of mantises and there's small species of mantises. The females are the biggest, and the males are small and brown, and they can fly, and they get eaten by the females. No one likes the males, apart from the females, to eat. So they weigh 4.5 grams. It's an insect, so they have a pretty good weight, but some of them can get heavy. And the females are 5 times heavier than the males, and the males are really small and brown and boring and tasty for the females. And now here is the part where I tell you a bunch of mantises, and future Joseph struggles to edit them all in the small space between me saying 2 species. So the moss mantis, which I think it's got a self-explanatory name. It's a mantis that has disguised itself to blend in with the moss. Chinese mantis. Not much to say, it's from China. I did a Chinese zodiac video last time that you should watch. And a ghost mantis, which disguises as a dead leaf. And it's really cool looking. The giraffe mantis, one of my favorites. The South African mantis, which I think is invasive in New Zealand. And the Texas unicorn. Wait, that's the wrong one. This one. Yeah. Which has got a little thing on its head. The New Zealand mantis, which is sometimes confused with the South African, the Arizona mantis, and the blue wing mantis, probably one of the most beautiful mantis. Apart from the orchid mantis, they're very beautiful. And mantises, or mantids, I believe some people say mantid for the plural. They live in Asia, Europe, Africa, and North America. And these guys cannot move their eyes, so instead they can swivel their head around 180 degrees to look around. And now that you're probably thinking that they're starting to look more like an alien. Well, they look like an alien, but some of the stuff they do are like aliens. And they don't live very long, not many bugs do, but they live between 1 month and 2 years, the biggest gap on Joseph's jungle. But it's just because smaller species live shorter than the bigger species. So really it depends, but they can live anywhere between that. And also depending, they don't get eaten, but a lot of the time the things that come across a mantis are the eaten, because these guys eat all the things that they come across, even lizards and frogs and mice. And they eat their prey alive. So they're starting to sound much more like an alien. And to even more, they eat their prey alive, head first. It's kind of gross. Sometimes I've seen a video of one eating a cricket, and I've seen the cricket juices. The weird, it looks like glue. This is supposed to be kid-friendly. And anyways, they are very good jumpers. They can jump very well from leaf to leaf, because most of the time they live on branches up in the treetops, but you can find them on the ground sometimes. And the little things on front of them aren't actually arms, they're actually legs that over time evolved to have little spike grips and little spikes to help them grip onto their prey when they grab it. And they use these to catch their prey and eat with. And these are actually legs. Over time, they weren't always like that. And they are master camouflages. They're camouflage. I don't know what the word you would use, but they're very good at camouflaging and to surprise their prey or to hide from being prey. So there's lots of species, as you know. Some of those species I called out are named after what they're camouflaged as. Like the moss mantis is called the moss mantis because it hides as a mossy piece of bark. And the orchid mantis, of course, hides in flowers because of its pink and white color. And they have eaten a lot of things. If mantises were like human sized, they'd eat people. People would be extinct. Apart from here though, because we don't have mantises. But the females, like I said, they eat the males. But sometimes when the male is smart enough, he can quickly run away from the female. And the males are the only ones that can fly. Well, the females can fly, but the males fly most of the time because the females don't really need to fly and they're too heavy. So the males can fly away from the females if they need to, but they don't always because of the female's big grip, and of course he gets eaten head first. So, and another fact, they have one ear which is underneath their belly. The weirdest place to have an ear. Like grasshoppers have ears, I think, in their bellies too. Not in their bellies, on their bellies too. Which, grasshoppers, yeah, it's grasshoppers, isn't it? Yeah, grasshoppers. And I'd say praying mantises eat grasshoppers, like they eat everything. There is over 1,800 species, and I just named a few there, so you can go Google them. And they're very popular pets. Probably in lots of countries, but I haven't seen or heard of many people in this country have pet a mantis, but they're pretty cool pets. I used to want one, but I don't now. That happens sometimes. I'm like, I want it, but then I don't want it. So that's it for this video. And I'm going to, at the end of videos, start asking a random animal question. And this animal question this week is, what is the only sea mammal that is a herbivore? Sea mammal, only sea mammal that's a herbivore. Like, who wants to be a millionaire? Apart from you don't get money. So, next week's video, I'll be here to tell you the answer if I remember. I'll probably be reminded. And I'll see you then. If you enjoyed this video, you should like and subscribe. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.